Hi class. Right, I've just been having a look at the homework I gave you and I thought I'd just talk to you about it, maybe make it a little bit easier. So the first one we're going to look at is here on page 23. So in the class we started doing part 4 here, making questions for the answers. So we had because he wanted to go to the toilet, that's the answer, and the question was why did he wake up, right? Number 2, the answer, they were in bed. Now, you remember in class, we made the question, where were Russell's parents? They were in bed. Number 3, because he heard a noise and saw a light on. Okay, so need to think of a question. That's the answer. The answer is because he heard a noise and saw a light on. So we're talking about little Russell here, aren't we? So what did Russell do when he heard a noise and saw a light on? Have a look in the story and make a question. So make questions for all of these through to 10, and we'll have a look at that next week. Next part to look at is over here, this grammar spot. So looking at tenses, what tense are nearly all the verbs in the article? So is it past? Reading that story about Russell, is it in the past or the present or the future? And we're going to talk next week about making questions. How do we make questions and negatives? Then having a look at the simple past of these verbs. So ask, what's the simple past of ask? He asked, right? Asked. So see if you can do that for all of these. Right, I'll send you this as well, T3.3 to listen to, so you can listen and repeat. And then the other part is, how is the regular past tense formed? How is the past tense formed when the verb ends in the consonant plus Y? And when do we double the final consonant? So if you don't understand that one, we'll talk about it in class next week. So I'll send you this list of irregular verbs on page 143. So the verbs you can learn. Now, next part, practice making connections. Match the verb phrases. Then make sentences using both verbs in the past. Join the sentences with so, because, and, or but. So first part is join these two up. So break a cup, mend it. They go together, okay? So then we make a sentence in the past. I broke. So break is the infinitive. Broke is the past. I broke a cup, but I mended it with glue. So the infinitive, mend it. We turn it into the past, mended it with glue. Have a look at the next one, feel ill. So first part, what would it go well with? Feel ill, laugh, feel ill, be hungry, feel ill, go to bed. Yeah, that might work, yep. So now we need to change this word feel into the past tense. So what's the past tense of feel? Yep, felt. Felt ill. So I felt ill. And then we use up here so, because, and, or but. I think so would be good. So I felt ill, so I go to bed. So we need to use this, let's get word go, which is infinitive. What's the past tense of go? Went. So the full sentence, I felt ill, so I went to bed. Okay, see if you can do the rest and we'll check them all next week. Right, and the last part, talking about you. So next week in class, we're going to ask questions and give answers. But first, we're going to need to make the questions. So, what did you do? Okay, so that's not too hard, is it? Because we just have to add these on the end. What did you do last night? What did you do last weekend? How about our answers? So what did you do last night? You might say, I watched TV. What did you do on your last holiday? I went swimming. So these are your answers are for you. What sort of things did you do? So we'll practice making these questions next week, and then we'll practice ask the question and answer. Okay, so that's page 23. The next part to look at was page 24. So I gave you this in class today. For those who weren't here, I'll send it to you on WhatsApp. So the first thing we're going to do is you're going to need to read these two stories. Hands up, I've got a burger. And the other story, teenage party ends in tears. So read the stories. If there's any new words, look them up in your dictionary. And you'll see in the story, oh, there's some words missing. Last Tuesday, a man armed with just a hot hamburger in a bag won. So what word is going to go in there? $1,000 from a bank in Danville, California. Have a look up here. We've got these words to choose from. Have, can, steal, give, say. So he went to the bank and took $1,000. It wasn't his money. So I think we can use this word steal. But steal is the infinitive. And this story is written in the past tense. So we need to turn steal into the past tense. What's the past tense of steal? Stole. So, stole $1,000 from a bank in Danville, California. So number one, stole. Have a look at what you think is going to go into the next place. Number two, number three, number four. And the same with this story about the teenage party. So here's the words here for story B. The infinitives, change the infinitives into the past and put them in the right places in the story. The next part of the class is match these phrases to the articles. Where exactly does each phrase go in the story? So we have something here. As he was running out of the bank. So which story do you think it would go with? So we're talking about running out of the bank. Do you think it goes with this story here about Zoe having a party? Or this story about a man robbing a bank? Yeah, it's going to go with this story, isn't it, about a bank? So where could we put that? As he was running out of the bank. So have a look at the story and see if there's a place where you could fit it in. How about at the end here? Even so, she handed the money to the man. As he was running out of the bank, he dropped the bag with the hamburger. He escaped in a car. Yep, that would work. So I can put this, as he was running out of the bank, here. He dropped the bag. So see if you can get all these other phrases and fit them in. So they're going to fit into either story A or story B. See if you can find the place that they're going to fit, and we'll check the answers next week. Right, and then next week we'll have a look at this grammar spot as well. Okay, so it's quite a lot of homework, but you've got a whole week to do it, so it's good to practice. And then next week we can do more talking and less reading. Okay, so I'll see you next week. Bye.